Are you ready to go on a path to defeat gods? No? Okay, yeah, I'm not either. No, actually, wait. You must be, because you're playing this game, Blade of God, Vigorous Souls, which is like God of War, but, you know, it's a ripoff, but it's a good ripoff. And a lot of people are like, how did this not get sued into oblivion? Well, it's a bit different from a straight up God of War clone, but plays a lot like a God of War hardcore 3D action game. The graphics are pretty good. It's originally from a mobile game, so it looked rougher, but it's actually fairly well executed. You play as this character Chaos, who has like mysterious blood, and he died from exhaustion apparently after being alone in the battlefield against a war of like this depraved god. Now I'm not sure which god it was. And then with the guardian spirit, which like raises you from the dead again, you don't come back as a human. From what it looks like you come back as like a skull warrior. I don't know. And yeah, so you come back to Middle Earth, but then apparently you find out like your parents were involved with the coup of the kingdom, and you're trying to get like revenge from this conspiracy. I didn't get that far too, so that's a bit more than I knew. I find the voice acting ranges from like acceptable to almost like goofy, laughable, but considering they probably had a very low budget for this game, that's okay. There's a few quirky, odd glitches or bugs with this game. The game will just inexplicably freeze for like 10 seconds or more throughout gameplay, and I would just like go click on my mouse or click on the buttons on the 360 controller, and it's like, oh, it suddenly defroze itself. But like it just happens at random moments, and I'm not sure if it's what's going on with the game, but it just happens. And then it'll be fine again for a while, and then it seems to happen mostly in the first stage. Like throughout the first stage, I didn't see it really happen once I got past the first stage so much. Then there's other times, well, there's also the fact that the text is Japanese by default, which is weird. It's like, okay, if you've got it on Steam, you'll probably see more English players. Even though it's a Japanese game, as far as I know, it's just weird that you then have to go in the menus and change it, because I thought, like, I don't know what I'm reading on the text here, and then once I changed it, I'm like, okay, this makes the game actually make more sense. There's other times I didn't experience this at first, but the camera just spins around in circles. So you're in a fight, and you're fighting the camera while you're fighting one of the bosses usually, or one of the like boss's goons, and like the camera's just spinning around, and you sort of have to accept it and keep on playing. It's unusual. The boss fights are very epic. It's sort of like God of War Light in the sense that like the boss fights are epic, but like the strategy's the same. Like it's almost like they teach you, okay, get behind the boss if you can, and then just keep wailing on the back of the boss, and then if the boss faces you, guess what you do next? You get behind the back of the boss and you start wailing again. So that's pretty much the basic strategy. I don't know if it changes like 5-10 hours from there, but I feel like the bosses are kind of cheap. Like it's almost a battle of attrition. Like you have to constantly roll out of the way, and you have a basic sword and scythe and maybe more weapons. And if you suck at the beginning, your guardian gives you like 5 potions. Now, I thought every time I died I get 5 potions, but for some reason she just gives you 5 potions, and then I guess you go in the shop and you buy more. I didn't see that, but like every boss fight you need at least 2 potions, otherwise you're most likely going to die, because the boss fights are that tricky and you're going to get hit, you know, a decent amount. The life bars take a long time to drain. But every single boss fight I saw was really epic, very cool, especially considering they must have had a low budget for textures and everything. So yeah, I wanted to move on and after I beat the first few stages, but it is a little bit repetitive. It's a beautiful game on PC. If you don't mind the glitches I mentioned, I would say it's a solid 7.5, because those glitches are just like, why is the game freezing? Like nothing's moving, and you just have to wait for the game to defreeze itself, and it's like, I don't even know why this game's doing this. But yeah, I would say it's a lot of fun. It's a good complimentary game if you like God of War. I think I paid $10 for it. I'm not sure why, but I don't see it for sale on Steam anymore. Maybe there's something else going on with this game because it was a mobile app. Maybe there's some funky backstory to this, but I couldn't see why it's not on sale. But if you can get a key for it on Steam, or even try the mobile version. Mobile version you have to tap. This, they changed the controls so it's more, action oriented controller 360 like. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and you can be a god, or at least defeat gods. What's better than that? What's more fun than that? Alright, keep on godding. Bye.